Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host. Who else but the Natty Teacher? And today, we got our second push workout of the week. It is Wednesday. Our first push workout every week, like clockwork, is always on Sundays. Our second push workout of the week is always on Wednesdays. Now, if you are doing a push-pull legs, just as a heads up, you absolutely can throw in rest days and split those body parts up more and have more rest days in between. Like you could do like 2 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. Anything like that really could work. You can, adjust how you need it as far as recovery goes. For me, I have found that doing just Sunday through Friday with a complete rest day on Saturdays, and obviously trying to get ample amount of relaxation in throughout the week, even with my pretty busy schedule, puts me in a pretty good spot to make progress, especially when I'm in a pretty hefty caloric surplus on the daily. It is much easier for my body to refuel and recover. So regardless though, second push day of the week. So on the docket today, what do we got? We got some dumbbell side laterals, nice old school movement there, trying to keep that in that 10 to 15 rep range for all 3 of the working sets we have of dumbbell side laterals today. Then we have some pec deck, and then we will have some low incline dumbbell press. Then we have a neutral grip chest press, and then we close out with triceps. We have a lat saw pull down, like a lat saw attachment push down variation. So that'll be cool. And then we have some one arm rope extensions. So in push down fashion. So no overhead movements today. So and then today we'll see. I trained abs back-to-back days this week already, so we'll see how I'm feeling towards the end of my workout, if energy's still high. And normally I would train abs today, but like I said, I trained them both Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see how the trunk is feeling and kind of decide if we're going to throw in some direct ab work after all that is done. Again, we'll see. So top set of some dumbbell side laterals will be coming at you right about now. All right, so up first here, we got some good old school dumbbell side laterals. So what you'll see here is I'm kind of keeping my arms slightly hitched, not a huge bend, but essentially we are just trying to drive those arms up and out at, I like to think of it about a 15-degree angle. So keeping the dumbbell slightly in front of the body, kind of angled in towards each other. And again, just driving those arms up and out. Really big part of this that I see a lot of people fail with is controlling the dumbbells on the way down. They'll do anything in their power to get those dumbbells up, but then they just let them slam back down to their sides afterwards. And I'm not going to say that takes away everything from the movement, but it definitely takes away a lot for sure. So make sure you're controlling those dumbbells on the way down. One thing you probably cannot see at this angle here is that I am using Versa grips on these dumbbells. So I am, again, this isn't a grip movement, this is a shoulder movement. So I would highly recommend anything and everything you can do to help you from losing your grip or handle on these dumbbells. Do it, okay? Here we're working with what? The, I think the 30s? 35s. Yeah, 35s. This is my, they had 3 working sets there. 3 working sets of side delts to get us started. Then, got some pec deck here. Good old school movement here, really making sure we're getting that nice big stretch, opening that chest up and going from there. I will say these last couple weeks, or really the last week I did it, I only did it this past week. Both my push sessions are already logged for the week I'm currently in. This is a week or 2 old video here. But I have found a little bit of a different alternate form of pec deck to where I actually have attached some D handles to the pec deck, and it feels spectacular. I cannot wait to show you guys that here in the coming weeks. And it felt awesome. So pec deck, 2 working sets here. I highly recommend keeping this in that 10 to 15 rep range. 8 is okay. I think anything below that on a pec deck, unless you are Jordan Peterson, I'd say for the majority of the human population, doing a set of 4 on pec deck isn't going to do much for you. Keeping everything in that 8 to 15, 10 to 15, maybe even slightly higher than that rep range works really great. 2 working sets. Then some low incline dumbbell press here. Bring those dumbbells all the way down to the chest, please. Okay, if you noticed,
or if you notice, if you watch my arms, even with the dumbbells down by the side of my chest, they are very much so, my arms are still angled at like a 90-degree angle. So it just goes to show how limited some people's range of motion is. And I'm literally touching the outside of my upper chest with the dumbbell each and every rep. So again, I try to shoot in between that like 8 to 12, 8 to 15 rep range on both of these working sets here. That's exactly what we did. So I think this week was the first week I did 2 working sets with the hundreds. Instead of just one. Usually I just do one top set. But the last couple weeks I've been comfortable in hitting this for a top set of 11, nice and controlled, and getting that good range of motion and all that kind of stuff, and going from there. So 2 working sets there, and again, that 8 to 12, 8 to 15 rep range is ideal. Then we got some neutral grip machine press. Okay, again, really putting those handles. I like to keep my hands, in this one I have my hands pretty low. You'll see it's very much so aligned with the very bottom of my chest, arguably even slightly lower. I've found this to be pretty comfortable as far as a chest and tricep builder, mainly chest, of course, and some front delts in there, no doubt. But again, same concept as that dumbbell press. 8 to 12 reps seems to be kind of the sweet spot. Really control that retraction on the way back. Get that really deep stretch those pec fibers out and explode out of the hole and go from there. So 2 working sets here, and that will conclude the chest portion of this push workout, and then we'll move into triceps. I actually only recorded 1 exercise for triceps though, so I will tell you the other one. But we have some lat saw push downs. This is something I've been getting progressively stronger and stronger with over these past couple of weeks, and I really dig it. Kind of forcing those elbows back, getting that really deep stretch, but trying to limit the recruitment of the shoulders to push the weight down. This exercise is awesome. It takes a lot of stability. I would definitely lower the weight from a traditional straight bar, V-bar type push down. But it feels awesome having those freestanding handles. I feel like it's almost like having a rope in each hand, but with much more stability. So huge fan of these lat saw push downs. Did 3 working sets here again in that 10 to 15 rep range. That is ideal, I believe, for like triceps and biceps is 10 to 15, 10 to 20, and nice control. Getting that full range of motion. After this, we did do 2 working sets of some single arm rope tricep pushdowns as well. That one, again, I usually try to keep closer to that 10 to 15 rep range. Sometimes even slightly below. So even like sometimes like 8 or 9, really try to work the load in those single arm movements. But great stuff.
Push B session in the freaking books. Hey, man, that was some good freaking stuff, no doubt. Awesome workout, man. Had a lot of fun. Felt good, felt strong, felt freaking strong, no doubt. Again, I say it all the time, man, and especially right now, we're just in a solid streak. I'm just kind of falling into a nice rhythm with this off season where I'm just progressing essentially week to week, and that's how it should be. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that your progress is going to be a rep or 2 added, or 5 pounds, 10 pounds added, whatever it is. It could be that you do the same set for the same amount of reps, but it was cleaner. Or maybe that last rep moved just a little bit smoother and a little bit quicker. You weren't grinding as hard for it. Like progress is, there's so many different, factors of progress. Please don't think that just because you added, or that even if you do add a rep or 2, don't think that that's necessarily progress, because maybe you just forced them up and they were crappy, but you wanted to beat the logbook. You know what I mean? So, again, there's so many different factors of progress, but I feel like for me, I'm kind of falling into that rhythm of, and it's a nice feeling. It's that's when I know my off season's going in the right direction. I'm falling into that nice rhythm of, not only am I making progressions with technique, but also kind of coincidentally making progressions with reps and also weight at the same time. You know what I mean? Again, sometimes week to week, sometimes every couple of weeks, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Just a rep or 2 or 5 pounds here and there, or, a cleaner set or whatever. It's just every week I'm doing something for the majority of my exercises better. That's indicating progress. So that's a really big thing. That's a really big thing. So yeah, awesome stuff, man. A lot of fun. I did not record, and I think I'll probably talk about this in my voiceover. I haven't obviously done the voiceover yet. I put that together. It's kind of the last thing I do. But I did not record my last tricep movement. The gym was getting kind of busy at that point, and kind of everybody in my direct vicinity. There's just people kind of directly around me, and so I didn't want to interfere with them and put a camera up by them or something too close to them. Usually I try to find spots that are not super close to people to not make them uncomfortable or anything like that. So, but regardless, I did not record my 2 working sets of single arm rope extensions at the end. That was the only thing I didn't record. So no abs or calves, because we did both yesterday. Started with abs yesterday in my leg session, and then we'll have more abs tomorrow. and then we'll have caps again on Friday. So, yeah, man. Great stuff. I don't have a whole lot more to say. Honestly, got my little mini rant on progress, and kind of about all I got. I'm gonna go home and get something to eat, get my post-workout meal in me, get ready for tomorrow, and go from there. It's kind of about all I got, man. Kind of about all I got. So, a little bit sleepy for sure, but regardless, even with no stims pre-workout, definitely had an awesome session, no doubt. So, the thing about it too, I will say this. I've been proud of myself. I've had a few days where I've gone slightly over, maybe 1 or 2 days here and there I'll go like a decent amount over. But to be honest with you, I'd say 90% of the days right now that I have during the week, I'm under that 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. If anything, I'm closer to 300 than I am to 400, like throughout the day total. So I've been really proud of that. I know it's like a little thing, and for some people it's probably like, dude, that's a lot. But for me, and especially when I was in prep, I was, again, on average, I was probably hitting 500-600 plus milligrams of caffeine like 7 days a week, and which isn't, again, the end of the world. And the short-term span that is a prep, 16, 20 plus weeks or whatever, especially those last, quite a few weeks. But in the long term, I don't want to get that reliant on caffeine. Getting it closer to that 300 to 400 was where I wanted to be, and that's exactly what we've been able to do. So I've been super happy with that, and being able to be consistent with that. So yeah. But anyways, chatting, yapping over. I'm cutting it there. So if you have not already, make sure you like and share the video. I would really appreciate it. And if you have not already as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, obviously, if you don't want to see this ugly mug again, then I probably would not recommend hitting the subscribe button. But if you got something useful as far as technique or form or tempo or exercise execution or what have you, whatever it is that you got out of this video, and you're like, man, this guy's got something, he's got a little something going on here, hit that subscribe button, man. Follow along for this journey. We are still at the very beginnings of our journey to becoming a natural pro bodybuilder. I should say more specifically a natural pro classic physique bodybuilder. So we're still very much so in the infancy stages of that process, and it's exciting. This off season has been very productive, and it's a cool thing. So current weight, by the way, I know I said I was going to cut it, and yet I've just continued to yap on, so that was a lie. But current body weight right now, I am still kind of hovering around that like morning weight of right around 207, 208. So we'll say a range. We'll say a range of like maybe 207 to 210. So still, definitely have put on some good size. I competed at 187, so definitely have added a pretty good amount of tissue, and also, of course, some body fat, no doubt, but definitely added some very noticeable tissue on and density to the physique. And yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm happy with how things are moving forward. So definitely on the right track for sure. Now we're gonna cut it. So I am the well, wait, hold on. I'm yapping again. First and foremost, wherever you're at in the world, hey, God bless. Second of all, and not quite as important, I am the Natty teacher, and this episode of Road to Natty Pro is out. I will catch y'all on the next one. Yeah,